What sports do you play? What sports do your kids play? Basketball is set to become the most popular sport in New Zealand, with participation jumping 61% since 2000. Basketball NZ has nearly 78,000 registered participants across the nation. Secondary schools, basketball has 26,500 participants, making it the most popular sport behind netball. There is concern, though, that some of the schools just don't have enough courts. There's about 500 courts short, according to School Sport New Zealand. Their CEO, Mike Summerall, says that while schools are great facilities, they can only cater for smaller games, and national competitions are maxing out the current facilities. But it's not just basketball outstripping our national game. Rugby, yes, football is also pulling in big participation numbers. But rugby, however, its popularity peaked about a decade ago. Someone said, funny how you call your wine a coffee, Toby, says. Toby, stop it. It is actually quite a horrible coffee that I made. It's instant. I've gone a bit crazy with something, but it's warm, so I'm drinking it. It's coffee. Now, one man who knows a lot about football, because he is a football coach for a very fantastic school in Auckland, Kristen, is Andy Clay. You'll know him. I've had him on the show before. Also one of New Zealand's best comedians. But look, I think he likes football over making people laugh. I'm not sure. Andy, hello.
Leah Panapa, how are you?
How football?
Oh,
Hey, look, the first question is, before I got you on, I was talking to Kelly. I said, do people go crazy? Is it football or soccer?
oh, come on, Leah, get with the program. It's been football for a long time.
So when did soccer go?
Soccer's gone over the last decade or two. All the official naming of New Zealand football's gone back to football. All the federations now, football federations, not soccer federations, as they were for a little while. But the only country, it's called soccer, is America, and a couple of Caribbean nations, and that's simply to differentiate it from American football. Simple as that.
Okay,
it's football. No one calls it soccer anymore, only Philistines like yourself.
You're a nice guy. So basketball, though, that is set to become the most popular sport. Would that be because it's, all you need is a ball. You can play it almost, kids can go down and just do hoops. You only need shoes, don't even need shoes.
That's exactly right. I mean, there's a lot of parallels with football and basketball. And one of them is the accessibility of it. It's also fairly friendly to both genders. You do just need a flat bit of ground and a hoop. It's slightly got more issues than football has in that regard, because you're absolutely right in your lead in that the court space is a problem, a massive problem, whereas football's got grounds everywhere, and it's much easier to, facilitate growth numbers. We've still got lots of growth in football that's happening, and that's easy to accommodate. Basketball is not, but there are reasons for it. Some of them are linked to not the demise of rugby, because rugby is still very, very strong. I think people underestimate it still, in there. And if you watch the game, New Zealand-France on Sunday, it was a fantastic game. So we're still producing great rugby players, and I hope we always do. But of course, one of the problems with it is the fear of the physical damage. There's a lot of it. I just generalise here, but anecdotally, it's a lot of mums looking at their kids going, I don't want my kid to be smashed like that, but I still want them to be active and play a fun sport. Football and basketball are fluid games. They're action-packed games. Their movement. There's not a lot of standing around. They're exciting games to play. They're easy games to watch. You don't have to be an expert in football or basketball to appreciate them straight away. You can watch them straight away and go, I get that game. I know there's intricacies to both that you'd pick up as you watch them more. And whereas rugby is a harder game to play socially. Touch is fine, but rugby, you have, the scrums and stuff. It's very technical, and there's a little bit of a problem. But the biggest thing is, and if I'm being very, very blunt here, a lot of mums of European boys, there's a fear of large Pacific Island boys who mature earlier, mismatch there. Although that is balanced out with, they do have weight restrictions in rugby, but those things have played into a halt in the progression of rugby, and also the ethnic. Oh yeah, absolutely, 100%. And I can tell you from being in a school. And the other thing, of course, is especially in the Auckland and the metropolitan areas, we've got a different ethnic mix to our country than we had, 30, 40 years ago, where you were primarily from British stock or Maori Polynesian stock. And now there's people from all over the world where rugby isn't their first sport.
That's true.
But football and basketball has a high profile from the countries that they've come in. Of course, we've got Stephen Adams doing great things for years now in basketball in the NBA. We've got Chris Wood in the Premier League, scoring goals for fun in the one of the top leagues, if not the top league in the world. So they've got these heroes now that we never had before in both of those codes, and all this things is moving towards those sports picking up. I believe basketball, I think, will overtake netball on the female side, in the coming years, because the other thing that, of course, that football and basketball have is they're truly international sports. Every country in the world plays them. Virtually every country in the world plays them, and they're very, very international. There's opportunities at World Cups, at Olympics. There's opportunities to make a career of it. I know it's only going to be for a small percentage, but there's that carrot. Football and basketball, you can go to American universities and get scholarships and get an education playing those sports.
Wow.
So a lot of things, those, they're very, there's lots of parallels with the football and basketball in that regard. Having said that, I hope rugby continues to be our number one sport. I still, even my football, I do love rugby, and I hope we continue to, and you go to the country areas and it's still very much the heart rural communities.
Rural rugby.
And you even go to rugby clubs in Auckland, you still see it's they're very well populated. And they're making changes in rugby to make it safer. They're lowering the tackles and all the rest of it, and they're trying to speed up the scrums. They're doing what they can, but those factors there, I think, are playing into the plateauing out of rugby, if you like. Although there's growth in women's rugby and the expansion of football and basketball.
They say that rugby's popularity peaked a decade ago, so that was. They've kind of had to fight back since then. And so you are right, Andy, with, like you said, non-Māori or Pacific Island kids don't want to get, so little Tarquin doesn't want to get smashed by fussy, is what you're saying. Yeah,
well, Tarquin's mum doesn't want to see it. It's more to the point.
Yeah.
It's the dads tend, generalization, but dads tend to go, get stuck in, son, and mums tend to, be the caregivers and the ones that go, ouch, don't do that to my little boy. As I said, rugby in particular have, like safeguards around it with weight restrictions and stuff, but there is still an imbalance because of the growth spurts of different races. It's just a thing. There's nothing racist or anything about that. It's just a biological, thing that happens.
Yeah, I get it.
And it does put off, some kids they don't want to get battered in their early teens before they've grown. When there's viable other sports, and the thing is that there never used to be. Now there is.
Can we just talk about football? So with for the listeners, you teach at Kristen, and
I'm not a teacher. I'm the head of football. I don't teach.
Sorry, you're the head.
I'm not a teacher. I'm not a qualified teacher, but I'm a head of football. So I organise there. Also, I'm heavily involved in club football as well. Very, very heavily.
Oh, has he hung up? He's gone and hung up. He's gone and hung up on himself, Kelly. Oh, there. You back there? What are you doing? Oh, good. Sorry, it sounded like a click.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Hello.
So, no, you can't hear me? Andy,
I can hear you.
He's oh dear.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Oh no, are you
it's
in
all
the?
Going off.
Where are you? Are you in the? Where are you?
I was in a quiet area, but now I'm in a noisy area. But I'm back in a quiet area. Can you hear me?
I've got you, Andy.
Don't worry.
Oh, you've done this before.